About 6:30 in the morning, off and running. Should be an interesting day today. Lots of things coming up. Halfway point, which will be in just a couple of miles. And then around lunchtime, I'll be at Pine Grove Furnace, which is the half-gallon ice cream challenge that I'm not doing. But it sounds like there's also kind of burgers and deli and stuff. So the food tour continues. Probably grab my lunch there. And then at the end of the day, I'll be going past another store on the trail, I guess, that also does burgers and sandwiches and stuff. So who knows? And it's supposed to be about 90 degrees today. So it's going to be a hot one. So far, the trail this morning is nice and easy, just like yesterday. There's rocks, but it's not nearly as bad as what I had expected. It's going to be, but it isn't yet. So that's all good. Should be a nice day. One other thing I saw in social media comments on the guide was that today, I think, is the last day that the trail crosses above 2,000 feet elevation until after Connecticut or in Connecticut, which is sort of amazing. So it should be pretty flat through Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, if that's all true. It's a heck of a lot more flat than it was down south, that's for sure, and a lot less flat, a lot more flat than it's going to be up in New Hampshire and Maine and Vermont. So I'll enjoy it while I can. Well, it is official. I am halfway to Katahdin. It's just a little plaque here, and then a little mailbox you can write your thoughts, and they'll go to the AT Museum. Kind of a nice idea. But I'm looking forward to being to where I can count down miles to go in 3 digits, which will be in another 100 miles or so. So, halfway. Pine Grove Furnace General Store. That's where the half-gallon challenge is and where I'm going to get my lunch. It's been a warm morning. It's getting hot, but otherwise great. Trail's pretty reasonable. Some rocks, but nothing too bad. And chance to get something other than Spam or tuna for lunch is pretty appealing. Hopefully they're open. So I'm not doing the half-gallon challenge, but I am having a hiker burger with an egg on it and bacon and about everything but the kitchen sink. Well, the trail at least starts out blessedly flat from Pine Grove Furnace because I got to digest a heck of a big burger. It's kind of like having a cheeseburger and bacon and egg breakfast all in one, deal. And I had a vanilla shake, so there's that. Anyway, hot out, and I think I'll be taking it slow for a bit. It's pretty much of a party here at Pine Grove Furnace as I'm walking through the picnic grounds. It's Memorial Day, and since I just had more food than I know how to digest, I'm not actually salivating as I walk through it. But they call going up to people and saying, oh, where did you get those great burgers or something? They call it yogiing, a way to go up to people who are having a nice picnic and try to ingratiate yourself and get them to give you some of their food, like Yogi the Bear, which I have not really done. So if I hadn't had that burger, I might be testing my selling skills right about now, but I'm good. So it's great to see everybody having a good time. Lots of families out. Barbecues smell amazing. Everyone's having a nice time. Happy Memorial Day. So there hasn't been a whole lot else to film today. I think it's about 4:30 now, and I'm closing in on where I'm going to sleep. I'm probably 3 miles away. Gonna get some water up here in a little bit, and then push on over a couple of uphills. And I'll plan to spend the night up there. I'm trying to get within 6 or 8 miles of a section I learned about today, which is 14 miles long. I'll hit it tomorrow. And that section is fully exposed. I guess it's fields and stuff with no water and no shade. which is going to be a bummer in this real hot heat, this big heat wave. I think what a woman told me today is supposed to be over 100. I hope it isn't, but I might end up using that umbrella against the sun and maybe try to keep cool that way. So we will see, but I want to get close enough that I can push through there because there's no camping. No camping, no water, no shade for 14 miles. And I think I can get within 6 or 8 miles of it. So I should be able to sleep on the far side of it tomorrow night as long as I can push along through it okay. So I think it'll work out fine, but it's going to be a steamy, hot day tomorrow. And I'm going to have to get really hydrated and then carry all the water I can. So I'm pushing on a little further. I'm not sure how many miles I've gone today. I'll have to check when I stop. But I think I'm pushing on a little bit further. Well, I am pushing on a little further than I probably would have just based on, feeling like I'm about ready to be done for the day. But go a little further, get a little closer to it, and have that much less that I have to chew off tomorrow. I just did a pretty gnarly 500-foot climb to get up here. And it's one of these kind of ridge lines with these big rock pilings up at the top. There have been a lot of these. I don't usually photograph them or video them because usually there's big views and stuff. But since I haven't had those, I thought I'd show you. It's very pretty up here. It was hot hiking up, I don't mind saying. As you can probably tell, I'm very sweaty. But since there aren't big views so far in Pennsylvania, we'll take the little, well, those aren't little, we'll take the pile of rocks. Looks like this pile of rocks is a little lemon squeezer. Yep. Well, I could probably get through it. I don't know if I can do it with the camera on. Let's see. Good grunt, huh? Give it the sound effects. All right, I'm through. Well, the trail worked back and forth through that ridge line, through all the big car-sized rocks jumbled up there in like a labyrinth. It just wound back and forth and up and down, and you had to duck under and crawl over, and I think somebody had a lot of fun routing the trail through there, and it was kind of fun going over it. So it was a little challenging at the end of the day being tired, but it's a nice change of pace, and somebody had a pretty good sense of humor who put together that section, that's for sure. Well, I'm happy I didn't bump into that guy as he wobbles along. That's a porcupine. He was under a rock I almost stepped on. Glad I didn't. Off he goes. Wrapping up the day, all set up here in a stealth site off that ridge that I was walking. It's a little kind of campsite area that gets used, I think, for some tents, but it's a small one, and I've got it to myself. It should be nice. Going to be able to keep the fly down again tonight, I hope. Well, I'm keeping it down. I hope that's not a mistake. And tomorrow I've got that long stretch to get through. I've got to do 20 miles total to get through that. So 6 miles to get to it and then 14 miles across it. So even in the heat, that's not too long. Hopefully that won't be bad. I did 26 miles today, so that's 2 days in a row with that kind of distance. And I was definitely feeling it by the end, particularly up on the uphills. But, manageable, and I want to be sure I don't overdo it, but felt, okay anyway. Did run into a guy on the trail today and got in an argument with him. He said, "Nothing rhymes with orange." I said, "No, it doesn't."